Okay, we'll take a second look at this reduced row echelon form within Sage. And so again, this was that cubic example, and we had this augmented matrix here, and we just said, we entered that matrix, we said do a reduced row echelon form and show B, and evaluated it, and we got that answer. And that looked great. It looked just like what the book did, and it seemed fantastic. Okay, now you have to be a little careful on this, because Sage doesn't know what these entries mean other than they're just entries of a matrix. So for instance, if I'm looking at, say, something like this problem here, now this is saying these are both equivalent, but let's just look here at this problem. If I go through the reduction process here, what it's going to think of here is it's not going to see my numbers as an X, a Y column, and then the right hand side column. It's just going to see it as a 3 by 3 set of numbers. And so let's put those in. So I need a 1, 2, and 0, and then a 2, 1, 1. So 1, 2, 0, and nothing else. So we'll get rid of those. And then we had a 2, 1, and I think a 1. We'll check that to make sure. And then the final row, so we can check our 2, 1, 1. Yes, that was 2, 1, 1. And then 1, minus 1, and 2. And so 1, minus 1. Move that over a little bit to make it look a little better. And 2. Get rid of everything there. And then I have to be careful to get this right. So you see I have my 2 brackets there, and so there's a bracket around each row, and then a bracket around the whole thing, and the parentheses there for that matrix. And then I'm going to do this, and so let's evaluate, and you see it just row reduced everything here. And so probably this system is inconsistent because I got a 0 here and a 1 there. But I don't know for a fact. I guess I have to think about that. But you see, it didn't really care, what you had over here. And we can even go one further in that I can put symbolic variables in here. So let me say, so here's, I'm defining symbolic variables, and so we do that just by saying var and a single quote and then say an A. There's a symbolic thing called small a, and suppose I put a small a in here, and you see for us it really matters what a is in this context, because again if that 2 is an a, it, depending on what that is, I may have an inconsistent system or a consistent system. And for that matter, I suppose possibly I could have an infinite number of answers. Well, no, I think it's either just going to be consistent or inconsistent, and then the consistency is going to have to do with what's up here. But at any rate, I make that an A. It matters what that A is, but if I evaluate, notice I still get the 1, 1, 1 again, because it doesn't seem to care. It doesn't think about, well, what if A is 0, right? What if A is 10? What if A, it doesn't seem to notice. And so just using this reduced row echelon form, if I end up having some symbolic variables inside there that I need to work with, it's not going to work so well. But as long as I'm working with numbers and I realize I'm in charge of knowing what the context is and so forth, then this is a really, really nice tool. Okay, and so that's a little bit more on Sage and reduced row echelon form.